like what I've said, the most important is for you to be able to get the things that you will produce as an output that you will have to submit to me, and similarly, I'll submit to the region. So, so module one is actually giving us the why, the what, and the how. Why are we studying this module? Why are we engaging ourselves so much and giving so much time in this module? It's because this is the reason why there is this continuance of the delivery of education. What are the things to be covered in this discussion? Will be discussed in in the succeeding slides, and how are we going to do it will also be given shedding light as we go with the discussion. Explaining this module is specifically giving us an opportunity to learn the why, the what, the how of this LDM. Okay, so we expect that by the end of this course, the course is supposed to be a month, but since the materials are already downloaded to you all, expectedly you are expected that you have read it. So sino ang up until now ay hindi nakapag-download, turn on your microphone and answer. So wala na. So meaning lahat kayo ay nakapag-download na ng lahat ng modules. Alam nyo, to facilitate the use of the module is that you have to have it ring bind, naka-ring bind siya para mas easier for you, babalik-balikan niya. So module is expected to give us the rationale, the design, the content and delivery. And of course, the most important is number 4 is the expected outputs. So remember, my friends, that each of your output beginning with this module, they will be assessed. Ano, they'll be assessed. So if you look into the rubrics on that, so maiintindihan nindo how your outputs will be assessed. 'Di ba? So nandun yan sa modules. If I am not mistaken, it's in the modules. It's that have been provided to you how you will be able to to be assessed as you go through with your submission. Okay. So say for example, there is a checklist there that you have to accomplish, whether it is present in the output that you have submitted. So yun ang pinaka-importante, yung dalawa for now. But of course, what is so important here that you have to study all throughout this hopefully as you also conduct your own LAC is the content and how will you deliver it, the content and the delivery. So basically, these are the things that are covered by this course. And the key topics that you will hear from here is that the LCP. How does LCP been? Why was LCP introduced? Why is it that all of us are required to have this? What was the basis, or what were the basis for doing so? Again, going back with the rationale and objectives, the design, the content and delivery, and the SLM, the self-learning module. So if our learners have their modules, all the things that has been provided to you, all this, yung mga modules natin, they are your self-learning modules. So very understandable naman, di ba? From the word self, meaning ikaw yon mismo ang mag-aaral nito. So the provision of luck like this one, the provision of orienting you, of giving you some lights as to how will we go about this are just a reinforcement of this. But basically all you have to do is to learn it by yourself. It's a self study. It's a self learning modules, as we explain it, is actually an initiative that encourages everyone to do an independent learning, independent study. So if we are giving this to our learners, more so, this is now your time to also do an independent study. I know some of you have already read all those, and that is your way of your face on doing a self-study. So yun, kaya nga po, these modules are specifically intended for you to do learning yourselves. So what's emphasized in these key topics is the conduct of learning action cell. So today, my friends, we're doing a LAC for leaders. Diba? LAC for school leaders, and that's you. At this point, I am your LAC leader. We have our LAC facilitator, documenter, and you are members yung, but we are in the LAC team for leaders. Now, ang challenge dito sa inyo is that how will you do about it? How will you how will you also establish your own LAC, you having as the LAC leader in the school context? Paano nyo naman siya gagawin? Ano po? So these are the concepts that you will be meeting, you will be encountering as we go all through all the remaining modules. So why is it that we have done it? Because we are trying to what do we call this? We are trying to adhere with the mantra, with the mandate of, it's not a mantra, it's not a marching order. We call it as a marching order of no less than our secretary that says education must continue while ensuring the health, the safety, and well-being of all learners, not only learners, but teachers and the other deputy employees as well. Okay, so we are faced with this pandemic. I know that we have been fighting this all along, beginning June, as we are all challenged about this. But we have been put into like we have been put into grim situation, I would say, because out there we are always been, lalo na sa mga panahon ngayon na we really cannot do it. It's really impossible that we will be providing quality education given with this kind of situation. But again, as our secretary puts it, we have to continue education. But of course, ensuring the health, safety, and well-being. That's why we have the modular learnings in the different modalities. I guess that's in the module 3, where discussions of different modalities are being emphasized. That's why this is the marching order of the department of the secretary, that we have to do it. That is why all of us, even at the level of the teachers, at the level of the school officials, and you at, most importantly, we are expected, and we are, what do we call this? We are expected, and we really have come up, we design our learning continuity plan adapted to our own context. Kaya it gave birth, the the marching order of our secretary gave birth to the LCP. Yon. So the learning continuity plan, which I believe all of you already have submitted to the division office, which I believe all of you continuously update, di ba? You continuously update your LCP from your safety and security, from modalities, from teachers training, from resources, and inter engagement of stakeholders, as we put it in the acronym SMILE. Di po ba? Okay, so that's why it gave birth to Learning Continuity Plan. So a learning continuity plan, as you can see, is specifically featuring, it's specifically giving emphasis that LCP it should be adaptive in terms of finding alternative modes of the delivery of learning. So, di ba, dapat maging adapt. So, this arrow represents that your LCP should be gearing towards adoption of an alternative modes of delivering learning. And all of us, like what I have been mentioning in my talk, in my previous talk, that based on survey, Camarines Sur has 80%. 80%, or it's actually growing. It's becoming 85 to 90 will be adopting the modular learning. And to the districts that I handled, I already discussed with them that the different modes of delivery that actually, it's not lang naman isa sa ang inaano natin. We have the blended learning modality. So we are making use of the printed, 'di ba? Printed modules. But when learners ask for teachers as a follow up of the assignment she gave, or as a follow up to the lessons in the module, and the teacher replied to reply to the learners using an online platform like a messenger, and the learners ask the students the learners ask the teachers through again this particular platform, then using this platform, then we can call that as an online, 'di ba, an online learning, online assessment. So hindi naman pala talaga solely modular printed ang nangyayari, 'di ba? Actually, it's blended. We have online, we have modules, and if the students, say for example, happen to listen to a radio na merong giving instruction, doon niya nakita yung sagot. Again, that's the radio base. Though we call it lang na talagang 80% dito sa atin sa Kamsur ang ah, ah, mag i-implement ng modular learning. All of this, we have to adopt the alternative modes of delivering learning so that we can be able to, of course, deliver quality education among our learners. Yun lang naman. That is why your LCP should be adaptive to the modes that the department, or the modes that the learners need. Okay, so we can effectively deliver it. So so one critical component of the LCP is capacitating school heads and teacher. Diba? So dapat, as you can see in the component of your LCP, so the first one, if you still remember your LCP, I hope you have them with you from time to time, you consult your LCP. I see LCP as parang an alternative for now, at for this time that we are facing this pandemic. Parang it's an alternative to the school improvement plan. Do you agree? Can you answer, everyone?
Yes, Rose.
'Di ba? Parang it's an alternative. Sige, it's an alternative to the school improvement plan na habang kasi ang school improvement plan parang plinano natin 'yan sa panahon na everything is normal pa, 'di ba? Ngayon parang we are faced by this predicament. What alternative plan can we do, or we come up with, so that we will still go on with life and educating our learners. And that's the LCP. And one component, very critical component of the LCP is how are we going to capacitate the teachers? And how will you get capacitated with all this? That is why it gave birth to this LAC. So, yun ang pinaka-premise. Why LAC and LAC sessions, itong LAC modules, we, for learning delivery modality, oh, have been introduced. Kaya nga, meron na tayo nito. So, basically, yun ang pinaka-reason niya, class, why meron tayong nangyayaring ganito. So, to go back with um with the module, so meron tayo ditong actual na We have the learning different modality courses. We have the design, the coaching structure and arrangement for LDM courses. So, ang coaching structure na minimin dito is that um, sino ang sino ang coach nyo when you do your own LAC. 'Di ba? It's the LAC leader. So, in your case, I will be the one to help you with your concerns as you implement these LDM courses also in your uh, respective schools or any kind of lock sessions that you deem necessary for your teachers to experience. So, may manok na na naririnig ako. So, ito po yung ano. Okay, so in your case, who will be your LAC coach? That would be me, So, and we will have to go as you implement your LDM or the learning modality. So, in your case, ano yung learning modality na pili natin? Lahat kayo modular. Can you reply on that? Lahat kayo modular, di po ba?
Yes, ma'am.
Modular po.
Okay, modular. So I can see that everyone is going to implement the learning delivery modality in a form of a modular approach, meaning printed, di ba? Printed distance learning, module learning, walkthrough on the LDM. Okay. Sige, pwede na siguro munang i-turn off ang mic. Kasi parang may naririnig ako nagsisigaw na dyan. May nag-aaway na sa likod ni Mr. Pasiona. Joke lang. So, yan po. So, again, this course will cover Course 1, the learning delivery modalities. The course 1 which talks about the different learning delivery modalities. Course 2 will be about the welfare and well-being of learners. And Course 3 is it is expected that will be provided with a provision of psychosocial support and training on wellness. Okay, so as you can see in course 1, 2, and 3, you notice that for division leaders, kami to, kami to. So, merong LDM management of LDM implementation. That's why we're doing this. So baka magtatanong kayo, why do PSDS do it? Why not directly to school heads? Because it form part of of the scheme that division leaders will also have to go through with this course. So LDM 1 is management of LDM implementation. For course 2, learners welfare and well-being, that's course orientation. Module 2 is child's right, child's protection, psychosocial, engaging, and all. And for module 3 on the provision of psychosocial support, again there is a course and orientation. My self-care, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, emotional wellness, intellectual, environmental, and social and vocational. For now, we are we only are with course 1 pa. And napakaganda sana ng mga the next succeeding courses, but course 1 should be given a prioritize as has this is has something to do with how do we implement the learning different modalities. So for teachers, ito na yung sa teachers na ibibigay nyo. So konteksto na ito sa school. Uh, who will do this? Who will do the rounds? On the stream 2, kayo po yun. So teaching in the modalities. In the modalities here referred to the modular modality that we opted to use. What to teach, how to teach all these lessons in the modules. So for course 2, there is also this one. Parang i-cascade na lang to. Yung child's protection, psychosocial support, and engagement of parents, home and community partners. For course 3, as you can see, wala na yung orientation. May provision din ng psychosocial support and training on wellness, which will emphasize on self-care, physical, spiritual, emotional, environmental, social, and vocational wellness. Uh, LDM courses for teachers and school heads. So wag kayong masyado dito sa training on CAPS kasi concern namin to. Ang ano nyo, ang concern nyo is the LDM 1. Hindi, sa amin pa rin to. Ito yung ano nyo, for teacher, master teachers as LAC leaders, teachers across career stages. What to teach and how to teach. So ito yung para naman sa teachers at para sa mga school leaders, LDM1. Kaya ngayon, naririto tayo sa LDM1 as we are considered the school and division school leader. So nandito tayo. Okay. Ito, concern ito ng mga instructional leaders. Division and district supervisor, division identified instructional leaders, meron ding mga identified school principal, head teacher, if in case EPS and PSDS will not be enough to cover the number of teachers in the LAC leaders. So, in your case, di ba, merong mga identified school leaders, principal, na nagla-LAC leader. Kaya, meaning, kulang yung EPS and PSDS. Kaya sila yun ang natap. Okay. So ang concern natin, you being trained now so that you can also train your teachers. So, again, as I have explained to you earlier, that the self-learning module is a tool for samahan. However, because of the interest of time, we cannot do that. Okay, but again, ang implementation naman ito ay year-round. The more, if there are things that you really do not understand and you would like to be enlightened with, and if there are some of us here or most of us here know this, you can also seek out the help of these people. Okay, so we call this modality. What we are doing now is synchronous and asynchronous learning. You'd notice that for module 1, we do a video conferencing like this one. And there is also the opportunity sana to learn from our peers and do some coaching. Okay, so guided independent study, as I've been saying, that this is a combination of synchronous and asynchronous. Why? Because we make use of the guided independent study using the SLM and the peer learning also via online platforms is what we are doing here. So kahit kayo at your own level, you can also do a blend of synchronous and asynchronous learning. So perhaps one asynchronous activity that we can do is on the module 7, which we're thinking of doing this through a face-to-face interaction. If we can be able to have the Pili National High School as our venue, that's the asynchronous learning wherein you nandiyan pa si Sir Yame.
Yes
What?
po, ma'am.
Okay,
Ay,
so
that
yan
will
po.
be when po, ma'am.
That will be when, hopefully, when do you plan to have it, guys? Can we do this on Friday? As ano, 7? Module 7 tayo, Friday. Okay ba sa inyo?
Friday, ma'am.
Opo. What is the
Online
date?
din po.
Hindi na po. Punta tayo sa, ano nga, sa
Okay, sige.
tawag dito. Okay lang ba sa inyo? Pag napakiusapan ni Sir Yami si Ma'am Iskuro, kasi yan ang pinakamalapit sa lahat, ah, kung nakipag-usapan niya kahit isang room lang doon, tapos pahiramin lang, marami naman yata silang projector doon at saka ano, pwede natin doon gawin. Okay po ba? Kaya
Kaunayan ko po ma'am, sa aga.
so hope we can give an early answer to this, Sir Yami. Ano po, so if you can
Opo.
contact her
Yes.
tomorrow. So you can, we'll inform
Yes,
the
ma'am.
group. So yun po, we are Doing a blend of synchronous and an asynchronous learning. Sige. To go on, um, merong iba-ibang differentiated assessment. So ito, tandaan nyo, ito yung mga requirements nyo na. Ano, para isa-isahin natin, para lahat kayo, alam nyo na kung ano ang gagawin nyo. Ano. So, pinsin nyo yung column, second column. Ano. The module, number 1, the course introduction. As you can see, wala tayong requirement doon, maliban doon sa forms na i-accomplish ng facilitator natin at ng documenter. So dapat kasama 'yon, Beth and G sa inyong sa inyong tinatawag na isa-submit sa akin. G and Beth, narinig po nyo? Okay, sasagot tayo. Okay.
Yes po.
Okay, copy. So for module 2, eto na yung sunod na module natin. So binibigyan ko na kayo ng hint kung ano yung submit nyo. Wala. None pala dito. So wala kayong isa-submit sa module 2. Sino pupukpok, medyo i-ano mo na. Okay. So, module 3, ito yung marami kayo. So, yung module 3, so isulat na kung ano ang i-submit natin, expected output natin for module 3. We have the decision 3, the readiness assessment results, and the readiness action plan. Yan po ang isasubmit. So, medyo may tatlo tayo. Tatlo lang ba? Oh, tatlo lang. Again, going back to module 3, you have the decision 3, the readiness assessment results, and the readiness action plan. Yun po ang isasubmit sa akin. Ma'am, kung meron kayong hawak na modules, tingnan nyo yung mga yung for module 3 kasi yung pinakamarami. How to go about it, we will discuss this. It will be discussed by our competent facilitators para matulungan tayo kung paano ba siya gagawin. So for module 4, eto na yung implementation plan. Paano nyo siya gagawin? Yung planning for LDM implement. Don't worry, there are templates on this. Halos yata lahat ito mga templated. Kaya all you have to do is fill them out. I-fill out nyo ng inyong mga plans, and then that's it. You already have accomplished your requirement. So for module 4, yung planning for LDM implementation. How will you implement your learning delivery modalities in your school? For module 5, you are expected to provide or to give or submit your technical assistance plan. What will be your technical assistance plan? Okay, for module 6, this is planning for M&E or monitoring and evaluation on how you implement. This time, nag-i-implement na kayo nito. So, ano ba yung mga plans nyo? How will you implement this? Anong pagkakaiba niya? Sa planning for LDM implementation, paano mo i-implement yung learning delivery modality? Anong pagkakaiba niya sa Module 6? Ang Module 6 is planning for monitoring naman. How will you monitor your implemented LDM the learning delivery modalities? Paano mo siya, So, may dalawa kang plano. Tatlo, actually, mga plano mo siya. From Module 4, you'd notice, from Module 4, 5, and 6, you'd notice that all of these are plans. For 4, implementation plan. Paano mo i-implement ang iyong modular learning approach or the modular distance learning. Ngayon, anong technical assistance ang ipoprovide mo with your teachers as they also implement the LDM? Now, you provided them technical assistance. You are already implementing the plan. How will you monitor and evaluate the learning plan? Di ba? Monitoring and evaluation and of the implementation and the learning plan. So, yun ang pinaka tina-target nating maibibigay niyong outputs. Oh, so ang module 7, parang we do not see anymore. Yun na yung assessment na gagawin natin. So, how many outputs are expected from you guys? Okay, only for module 3, decision 3, readiness assessment results, and readiness action plan. So parang ano yung mga plans nyo for readiness and readiness assessment. Kasi may mga templates dito. Pag-aralan nyo yung mga templates, fill them out, yun ang pinaka. Implementation plan, TA plan, and evaluation plan. Kung paano gagawin yan, itatry natin paliwanagin, i-discuss natin in the succeeding sessions. Okay? Ayun, sinabi na natin to. Ito ay concern ng RO, ay ng CO. So, ang LDM, they top coaches, as you can see here, in the creation of the LDM, in the conceptualization of LDM, they tap the coaches from CO, regional office, and even the EF partners for this different regions. And that's also true in yun, iba-iba pang region. And similarly, ang region naman, ang tinap naman nila ito. So, ito yung mga LDM coaching arrangement for LDM1. So again, ito na naman siya. So that's why in the LDM1, we have the lock leader 1. This comprised of the senior principals, lock leader 2, that's the same thing. Block members, school heads. So, yan ang sa Stream 1, LDM1, Learning Delivery Modality, Stream 1. Kaya kayo yung mga participants. Pag nag-Stream 2 na, yun naman, kayo naman, at mga teachers na yun naman ang ano. Who may serve as lock leaders, you know this already. That's why we have been chosen to serve your lock leader because we comprise of you. Okay, what are the responsibilities of a TAP coach? TA person, technical assistance persons to coach you. You are supposed to be directly provided with individual TA coaching, especially those na nagre-request. We will try to address your concern individually or as a LAC. We will be referring to unaddressed concerns and we'll provide feedback. So yun lang naman ang pinaka-roles ng mga coach nyo. Sana mabigyan din ng katarungan namin. What expertise do we expect for LDM1 coaches? Ito, working knowledge, understanding of all of this. Like the LDM itself, like the decision tree making and an assessment and planning, and how can we be providing you technical assistance, how the LDM implementation can be monitored and evaluated. So, pag mayroon kayong mga tanong dyan, guys, syempre wala kang iba tatanungin. Sana ako ang una niyong lapitan. Sana, yes, siguro meron kayong gustong ibang tanungin about all this. Pero I would be happy, I'll appreciate it the more if you try to approach me being your lock leader. Now, if you think that there are more authorized or there are authorities to speak you about all this matter, well and good, so that would be okay for me. Pero ang concern natin dito kasi medyo parang off tangent that you will be if you will be asking like suggestions, recommendation, advice from other lock leaders. Okay lang yun. Pero sana kung try to approach me first. Kung hindi natin, so together we will find answers to it. Okay lang ba sa inyo? Can I hear your answers?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you po.
ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you po.
And okay, thank you. So also, LDM coaches are also expected to do some coaching. Now this time, again, it's on the LDM implementation. evaluation, um, at your level, at your end, ganun din ang gagawin niyo. Ano? Pag yung mga teachers, they will also be, pag nasa konteksto na ng school, na kayo na yung LAC leader, you will also go through with this course. Ano? So what's the mechanism for this LDM? Uh, let's leave that out now or not need it anymore. Okay. Ito sana yung pinaka-schedule ng LDM1, second, fourth week of July with the assumption na natuloy yung August 24. First week, training of coaches for LDM2. Mag-LDM2 na. So ano, kaya sunod nito, LDM2 na. Kaya dapat matapos na natin yung LDM1. O kaya pag natapos na yung LDM1, nakapag-submit na kayo na, i-assess na and all, siguro they will start doing the LDM2. We do not have yet the schedule of this. Pero what we are telling you here is that meron pang mga masurunod ka ni. Kaya we really have to speed up kung paano natin to gagawin. Okay, yun po mo. This time is on walkthrough on the LDM modules. Paano natin siya ano. So LDM modules. That's why ito na yan. Ito na siya. What we are doing now is giving you the course introduction and the module 2 later will be the discussion on the learning delivery modalities. Hope we still cover module 3, the LDM decision tree and readiness assessment, and so as with module 4. Kung kaya sana natin matapos ngayon, say for example, itong module na ito hanggang 4, madali natin tayong makakatapos nito. What is important here is you know what are the expected outputs to submit. Okay, this is the mantra of AS, National Educator Academy, to grow, empower, and transform people. Okay, that basically ends my presentation. So we go with the next presentation. Who has question? Alin ang ano ang tanong nyo dito? Sige. Open your microphone and camera. Do you have concerns? As we are done with the course introduction pa lang yun, ano? What are the expected output, the why, the what, and the how. Yun ang nasagot natin, ano? So, questions po? So guys, any question? So we are asking module 2, lesson ano yun? Lesson 2 to be ready for the next presentation. Mr. Pasiona. So welcome Melody in the group.
Thank you po.
Mhm.
Also, Ma'am Rose.
Also
Ma'am
Mama
Rose
Rose.
Lusada. Opo.
Okay, so let's check the attendance if the people are still here or just merely. Okay, so we have already. Hello. Yes po, Sir Ray.
When will be the submission of readiness assessment result?
Oo. Okay, good question, sir. When will be the submission of not only the readiness, but basically all will be next week. Okay ba 'yon? Next week na po lahat 'yan. So, wag nyo nang ipaisa-isa ha. If you are done with the first one, go to the second, third because we are planning to have them all collected by next week. That's why we're trying to concise, i-concise na namin, i-compress na naman yung mga discussions and all. Doon lang sa point na gusto nyong maintindihan. Kasi para to give you enough time to do your outputs. Lahat ito may mga templates. All you have to do is fill them out with your answers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay po. Any more? Any more questions? Yes po. Who's this?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am Irene.
Yes po. Yes po.
How can we get po ma'am the copy of LDM2? Any links
LDM,
po?
LDM2, wala pa naman yata po, Sir Dayon.
Wala pa po. Sige ma'am.
Oo. Yung LDM1, lahat po to ay LDM1. Wala pa tayo. Kahit kami, hindi pa rin kami grade 1. So, what we have today is LDM1. So, wag na muna tayong problema po sa LDM2. Kasi ang concerns natin ngayon, guys, is to finish doing the outputs expected of us for LDM2. Okay, any more question? Meron pa po tanong? So, yun, naintindihan naman ba natin kung ano yung mga ini-expect natin? Bakit nagkaroon ng ganito? Ano yung mga ini-expect na sa atin ng mga school heads? Lahat ito nagsimula because there is COVID-19. Yun ang pinakasagot dyan. And lahat ito nagsimula dahil there is a marching order from the secretary. Continuing education but ensuring the safety of the learners, teachers, and independent employees. That's why it resulted to learning modality, the delivery of learning delivery modality, which is in the LCP na pinapagawa sa atin lahat. The learning delivery modality ay may iba-ibang klase. Lahat tayo pumili na it's going to be a modular learning. But ang tanong dito is ano yung mga decision tree making nyo? Actually, kung tutuusin, nakapag-decide na tayo, di ba? But here we are asked to come up with a decision tree kung saan mag-iisip tayo back to yung desisyon na mag-modular learning. Halos nga, kumbaga, fill out nyo na lang yon. Tapos, ano yung plan nyo sa assessment? Ano yung plan nyo sa TA? Ano yung plan mo sa implementation? Basically, yun ang pinapagawa sa atin. Right. Okay, any more question as I gave my synthesis to you? Oh. So if not, we go to the next presentation. Since Mr. Ohinar is not in. Nandito ba si Mr. Ohinar, Beth? Nandito na.
Wala pa po.
Okay.
Kanina ma'am naandito siya. Ay, doon sa kabila kanina, present. Ngayon wala po.
Wala siya. Okay, so anyway, may ready naman tayo. Sino yung, nandiyan ba siya? Mr. Ohinar?
Si Sir O'Neill kasi ma'am nakausap ko yung asawa niya daw dahil sa kasi kahapon pa daw yung due date ng pangalan.
Oh.
Pero willing naman daw po siya makinig. Pero yung
presentation. Okay, sige na. Okay. Anyway, na-cover mo ba yung lesson 1? Mr. Pasiona ng module 1? Okay, naka-prepare sa lesson 2. So parang mabibitin tayo niyan. Okay, anyway, sige na lang. Kasi can you get your module class? LDM1 module, ano yan? LDM1. Module 2 na tayo, di ba? Sa'yo, Mr. Pasiona. LDM1, if you have your copy, look for LDM1 module 2. Okay.
Sa akin,
Yes po. Sa'yo ay LDM1 module 2, lesson 2. Tama po, sir? Yan ang sa'yo? Okay. Ano ba yung module 2 sa'yo, lesson 2?
Distance learning.
Distance learning. Okay.
Yung module 1, ma'am, is overview of the learning delivery modalities.
Okay naman pala. Sige na ano nyo naman yung ikaw na muna yung magsimula. Okay na lang, class. So for Mr. Pasiona, understanding the learning delivery modalities in the basic education learning continuity plan. Diba? Yan ang pinaka title ng ating ng topic for for this particular module. So while Mr. Pasiona is getting ready, I can give you a glance of what is in the lesson 1. Kasi lesson 2 na si Mr. Pasiona. So, this module, you're expected to define the learning delivery modalities prescribed in your LCP. So, we did not choose the face-to-face as much as we would like to kahit wala tayong mga COVID cases, but really it's a no-no to have a face-to-face learning. That is why we resorted to having this learning delivery modalities, which is known as the distance learning, the blended learning, and the homeschooling. So, can we have a short, parang tig-iisa lang kayo, your idea of this? Siguro naman makakasagot na tayo because we have been exposed to this terminologies. What is your idea of face-to-face learning? Who would like to answer? What is your idea of a face-to-face learning? So we have meaning, Mr. Of course, from the root word face to face. Okay. Not virtual. Though today we are seeing face to face, but it's not physical. It's more like virtual. So face-to-face learning involves, of course, the presence of people, the interaction, actual interaction, physical, close, and interaction of a learner and the facilitator, learning facilitator. So what about distance learning? How many kinds of distance learning do we have? Okay. So anybody? Anybody? There are 5. Okay. So ayan ay sasagutin ni Mr. Rene Pasiona pero not now. Reserve yan sa kanyang discussion. Tama?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So wag na munang sagutin. Bibigyan ka namin ng enough time to do the discussion. Okay, sabi dito, which of the LDMs do not have a face-to-face learning component? Of course, yun ang distance learning, 'di ba? Yung blended learning and distance learning. But then again, if we are to talk realistically, parang imposible talagang walang face-to-face. What I mean is, yung interaction na, the giving of modules, the distribution of modules, the retrieval of modules are somehow sa inyo may mga face-to-face interactions, tama po ba, di ba? In the dry run, we saw that parents report to your school. May mga dry runs na ang parents nagduduman sa eskwelahan, tama? And your teachers gave them the modules. So in that case, parang it's the face-to-face we are talking about here. But the instruction, the delivery of instruction, ay wala talagang face-to-face. Okay. So again, that's why isang page lang naman pala ang lesson 1. That is why it gave birth to the learning delivery modalities and modular learning because of, again, going back with the reason of this pandemic. So yun lang ang pinaka-overview lang naman ng lesson 1. Okay po. So we move on now to distance learning. Like Mr. Pasiona said, this is part of his report. Okay, take it away, Mr. Pasiona.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My presentation is about distance learning. Okay na po. Nakikita po ba, ma'am?